Well, welcome to another video. This is episode 4 in a series I'm calling the Tramper Build. The audio was not great this day. I've got trucks running. There's a grain elevator across the street from my house and where I was recording this, and it's loud, and then it was very windy. So those are the windows, RV windows, that I'm using. Here I'm trying to show you where I'm going to put them approximately. I'm cutting a template or marking a template. Now I'm drilling a hole through the aluminum using a step drill bit. I've moved to a jigsaw with an all-purpose bit on it. These trailers, these utility trailers, have aluminum skins on them. This one's got a steel member framing behind it. It's about 18 gauge steel that is used to screw the aluminum into, and then they also use it to screw the plywood into, and that just basically makes up the structure of the trailer sides. Here you see I've got it sped up quite a bit here. Here I'm cutting some more. This took me about an hour to cut this hole because I had to go get the different tools. I had grinders I was using. I couldn't get the screws out. They wouldn't come out. I didn't have the right bit. So there's a grinder wheel. I tried it. It worked good on the steel, not so well on the aluminum. It just kind of melted the aluminum instead of cutting through it. But grinding wheels with cutoff wheels do well with steel, not so much with aluminum. Here I have a Dremel like tool with a hacksaw blade on it, and I just had to make this radius. These windows had a 3.5 inch radius hole that I had to cut. Here I didn't aim the camera very well. I'm showing you the camera falls over. So, as I go through this YouTube experience that I'm going through, I'm learning how to edit more, and here I slowed down the video so you could see it. I'm doing a voiceover today on most of the video, or some of it, but it's an experience that I'm enjoying, and I'm glad I'm getting a few more subscribers. I'd like to get some, I'd like to have a lot more views. Of course, every YouTuber always wants more views, but the secret, I think, to having a lot of views is making good content and doing a good job editing. So I think this is pretty good content here, where I'm tearing apart this trailer. And I would suggest, again, instead of diving right into something like this, you do a little research, like watch some YouTube videos. There weren't really very many YouTube videos on cutting into a utility trailer and putting in a window. So that's why, I think this video here will get quite a few views. Here I'm bracing the glue job. As you glue the window in place, I'm bracing the glue job against my garage. There you see the messy glue. It's just some leftover roofing sealant stuff I had. I guess you attach gutters with it. It's just some leftover that I had to use up, and as it turned out, it didn't. This this brace job didn't work too well. I didn't quite get it tight enough. I put several clamps on it, but I had to come back the next day and redo it with some different glue, and you'll see that coming up. Here I'm putting the window in. This is the latch from the episode 2, I guess. I never did finish the trim, and at the end of this video you'll see that. There's the close-up of that Dremel tool I use for a lot of this trim work, and it wasn't cutting through there. So I had to remove this piece of trim, and I took it to the bench and finished it off there. This is my messy garage. There, I'd cut the hole, and then I'm just filing the burrs off and making it so it's going to fit tightly. Now I'm cutting the hole for in the door. I'm just using a Sawzall. This hole was pretty easy to cut. There was no steel behind it. I made the window horizontal like that. It was hard to fit because I didn't have the right kind of template. You see that where that bulges out on the right there. I really had to trim a lot of that off. I just didn't cut, I didn't have couldn't follow the line. The Sawzall, the foot on the Sawzall gets in the way, and you can't see where your line is, and so then it gets off and mangled some of the aluminum. So here again, if you do a project like this, I really suggest measuring real well, laying it out, cutting the hole right the first time. It took a lot of adjustment to get it in. It probably took me an hour to put that window in, but it should only take 10 minutes. Here I'm bracing it against a tree with some 2x2s, the glue. It's that roofing. It's like a latex, I think, but it's made for, I think, sealing gutters. I just wanted something I wanted to make sure that it would work with the rubber seal and the aluminum. And that seemed like it was going to work, and it did. I finally got it to fit in there after a bunch of finagling. And I put a lot of glue in there. I had a tube that I just wanted to use the tube up, so I just put a lot in there. It gets a little messy, but it peels right off with the fingernail. You'll see that coming up. It's real easy to clean up. The second tube of glue that I opened, a Liquid Nails product, I think, it was a lot more sticky. It was more rubbery, sticky kind of stuff, and it was a gray color, and you'll see all that coming up. The voiceover is just about done. Well, it's the next day. It's really nice weather. So you see, I've got some cleaning up to do around the edges here. I didn't do the best job with the templating. I would suggest that if you take on such a project, you do a better job with your template. Just so you don't cut too much. Now I've got the piece of trim, the trim that comes with the... So these seem to have worked. Apologize for the wind. glue. The bottom didn't glue. I have to get some different glue. It just didn't adhere. So that's not good. Not good at all. I have to do a little more research on the glue. It stays nice and flexible. If that one didn't hold, well, this one held. I guess just the other one just wasn't in good enough. This one held well. I didn't put any reinforcement behind here. Got a little cleaning up to do here. That just peels off, so that's good. That's just my fingernail. I bought this. Fuse It. Liquid nails. Bonds in extreme weather. 2 times stronger than fasteners. Provides instant grab. Okay, this stuff. Fuse It. This stuff is gray, so it more matches the color of the trailer. It does pretty well. I have to get it back in there without making a huge mess. And give it another clamping. And try and do it neatly as possible. See, I'm already making a mess here. It's windy. There's trucks. So, and I'm sure this stuff's not going to be easy to clean off. Okay, we're back out of the wind. I feel good about those now. Now the trim cleaned that up pretty well, I think. And I won't show you that. It looks like they get looks like we have to cut a little more wood. We'll see what happens. I don't think I ever showed you the final on this. Came out pretty well. This is the piece of trim I took off. There's about 20 more of those. Okay, so we're going to call that. You see the trim I have to put around this door. I'll probably have to cut away a little bit more meat here. I'm not sure. I've never done this before, so that kind of ripped out there a little bit. I think the trim will hold that all back together. Well, thanks for watching another video. That's episode 4. That was it, putting in the windows, cutting in the holes, putting in the windows. I haven't finished trimming them out yet. I'll show you that in another video. Next, I think we're going to cut in the bathtub, the shower. That's going to be next. That'll be episode 5.